My fellow Guyanese, the level of my frustration today, I would kindly ask you to help me to process and to heal from my frustration. I would kindly ask you to like the video, give me a thumbs up. Maybe you can say something nice to cheer me up in the comment section. Then I know that you have my back. I know that you are concerned about my total well-being because the struggle continues. So please go ahead and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, that will help too. Subscribe to the channel. Give your thumbs up, give your like. I want to hear from you because it seems like what we can hope for, what we can look forward to when it comes to Guyana, especially the legal system in Guyana, is compromise, alleged corruption, disappointment, favoritism, and people abusing the law. That seems to be the thing now that you can expect when it comes to Guyana. This is beyond politics now. This is beyond politics. We can't blame politicians anymore for the bullshit we keep seeing from the judicial system of Guyana. This seems to be a cultural thing, enshrined into the cultural identity and practices of Guyana. It seems to be what it is now. Unfortunately, I am Dr. Prasad. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. Politics is a career. A political party, in my opinion, is not a non-profit. It's not a charitable organization. A political party is a powerful entity that, if given an opportunity to establish a government for a particular country, they can do terrible things while at the same time enriching themselves. I mean, literally enriching themselves. So politics and political party is nothing to be taken lightly. You can't treat politicians as if they are teachers in a primary school. No. You treat politicians as grown-ups, and you always hold them to the highest standards in society. They must always exemplify the highest morals in society. So if before they become politicians, they were a bunch of ghetto lowlifes, after they become politicians and they reach to the point of becoming members of parliament or members of the National Assembly, representing whoever their constituents are, when they would have taken the oath to serve as a member of parliament, then they need to put on the cloak of the highest moral standards, the highest. If in fact they manage to gain governmental power to structure the government, even more is expected of them. Dignity, class, perfection, to follow the rules of the law by the title. Zero compromise to blame humanity. After all, we're still humans. No, that is not expected. That should not be a possibility when it comes to a politician who swore, who took an oath to hold the Constitution. No excuses. No excuses. So when those very politicians break the law, or their conduct, social, whatever conduct, is not in accordance with the Constitution that they swore to uphold, when they do that, they should pay. There should not be any leniency, no fucking mercy. They should pay. It's like police officers. When you go to the academy, you're going through those months of training, theory and practical. They teach you discipline. You also understand the consequences if you break the law as an officer. You made a choice. So why should there be an exemption for politicians who took an oath, who swore an oath on, in this case, the Quran, to always uphold the law? So when people come to Guyana and they make these videos about garbage in the city, nasty ghettos everywhere, guns and drugs and violence, when they come and they do these things, those of us who embrace Guyana with our identity, and we will try our best to live according to the law, we take offense in that. How is that different? How is the garbage that is shown on some of the programs from these podcasters, these YouTubers, like the Christmas Skunt guy, how is that different than the garbage that we have as opposition leader who rallies around the country, terrorizing people, pushing propaganda, abusing his privileges because he has a lot, molesting the citizens? How is that different? That is also promoted on social media. He is. And is circulating globally. How is that different? Human garbage and filth coming out of Guyana. And the one thing that we have that Dr. Jagan fought for, and speaking of Dr. Jagan, Dr. Joey Jagan, the estranged son of Chedi Jagan. Dr. Joey Jagan, I honor your father, I worship your father, but you are a skunt. Joey, you are a disgrace. Seriously. You keep quoting your father, but you are the total opposite, Joey. Forever. You are a hater just like Azruddin Mohammed, just like the PNC. Matter of fact, you are a PNC. I'll handle you another time. But for now, stick to dentistry, Joey, and make sure you don't fuck up the people's mouth. When they come to you with a stink breath, let them leave with something pleasant. Unlike the things that comes out of your mouth over the party that your father built, founded, built, and today, because of the people who control the party, because of the people that Dr. Jagan entrusted, mentored, schooled, trained to continue his legacy, Dr. Joey Jagan, because of those people, the People's Progressive Party that your father built and founded and wrote the Constitution for, this year would celebrate what, 79 years? If Dr. Jagan, the people who succeeded him in the leadership of the party, if they were a bunch of lowlifes, like the Bornham Party, the PNC, if they were a bunch of lowlife, Joey, you think the PPP would be in government today? You think they would have a solid control of about 80% of the country? You think the People's Progressive Party would be a party that is honored, respected, talked about all over the world? You think so? No. They would have been just like the failing PPP, the PNC. The PNC that is dead, it's dead. The PNC is dead, it's done. The R is what's still holding on to life. You know they have the PNC R? Well, the PNC, People's National Congress, is dead. The reform is what's now swimming to shore with this stupid leader, Campbell. The PPP would have been like that if the persons who followed Jagan, Dr. Jagan, were lowlifes. But the fact that the PPP today has transformed Guyana into a paradise, it meant that your father trusted the right people. It meant that your father chose the right people. That's what it meant. They made Cheddy Jagan's party great, and they keep it great. So be thankful for the legacy of your father that it's living on. He was honored by Gail Teixeira. Come on, man. Shut the hell up, Joey. Sniff that stuff that you usually sniff. What do they call it again? I heard allegedly that you use cocaine. That's what I heard. Allegedly. So, you know, just be quiet. I said a few days ago, and I kept saying it, after the Suku raid, all the conspiracy, all the stuff that was leaked and all them kind of stuff with Mohammed, I said that Azruddin Mohammed should be arrested. Haven't you heard me say that? I said he should be arrested. I also said that they should investigate the magistrate. I said it too. Investigate the magistrate. I said it today's what? Monday, I said it Friday or Thursday. Go look back at the videos, you'll see. I said, check the magistrate's history. Before she went to law school, after she graduated, her private law practice, look and see who her clients were, who funded her, who may have given her the finances she needed. Check it out. And I am sure the money trail would lead to the Mohammeds. I am sure. The fact that she is the magistrate for the Judicial district that deciding cases in that district there, how did she get to be elected to be the magistrate for the Judicial district? Who elected her? Who appointed her? How was the appointment done? Investigate all of that. Find out who is behind it. Then you investigate them. It would lead you back to the Mohammeds. Look at the cases that the magistrate presided over, how she ruled on those cases, examine the bail differences. There's a lot of work to be done, but all it takes is maybe a day. Get the clerks to do that. Find out, look into the life of the magistrate. I am sure you would find connections to the Mohammeds. Connections. First, it was the father creating this thing about being hospitalized for conditions that he was already cured of. And all he had to do is to take his medication. His hospitalization and the justification is that he needs a 2 week break because he has mental issues. He's stressing. What is he stressing over? The amount of people that he owes, including the country? Is he stressing about what life would be like in federal prison? What is he stressing over? Because he knew about this a long time, years ago. They knew about this. So that playbook worked because the case was postponed for today. Now another thing came up today that worked too. The strategies the Mohammeds are employing keeps working by the same magistrate. You know, this is like Magistrate Julie Latchman. She's in a bad abusive relationship. And every time her husband beats her, the police come, arrest him, she goes back and begs for him. Every time beg for him, every time beg for him. Then they would start to think, she kind of liked the abuse. It's just the embarrassment, that's why she reports it, but she kind of liked the abuse because this is not the first time, not the second time. Every time the man has an excuse and she forgives him. Until, as we know in most abusive relationships, the time comes when a woman don't get a chance to forgive because the man completes the job. This is how this seemed. Because from day one, something as serious as this extradition case, indictment, as serious as that. The Americans aren't indicting the Mohammeds because they exported spoiled watermelon to America. They're indicting the man because he caused Trump. These are serious crimes. People face life in prison for that. Look at the president of Argentina, was it? That the Biden administration jailed for over 20 years. He was pardoned by Donald Trump. He was jailed, wanted for money laundering, wire transfer, drugs, in compared to what the Mohammeds are wanted for. And he was a president. If Trump didn't pardon him, he was arrested and sentenced on the Biden administration. He was in prison. And Donald Trump, for his own political ambition, pardoned the man. And you have the Mohammeds that is facing that level of indictment and charges. And they are making a fool out of a female magistrate. You think they could have done that with a male magistrate, with a man? You think they could have done that with a man? No. This is how you represent women, Magistrate Judy. We should have had Judge Judy from the talk show. That's the judge you need. Magistrate Judy, the Mohammeds are making you look bad. Not only bad, they're making you look compromised. All the stuff that is circulating around that they're paying you, you're validating that. Your judgments, your leniency, the way you are compromising for these people, you are making it seem like indeed they have you in their pockets. That's the impression you are giving, Magistrate Judy Latchman. Look at today. Your own remarks. It's not the first time, they're always late. So this is not a first offense. Don't we know how things happen? If somebody has respect for you and you have an appointment with them, they're not going to leave their homes in their own time and say, he'll wait. They're going to be there and they'll wait for you. They'll wait on you. That's respecting your time. And you're having a case before the court of this magnitude, and based on remarks that were made that this is a norm for these people, they don't show any kind of respect or fear or a sense of responsibility. If it's not 5 minutes late, it's 10 minutes late. Why? Because he's a billionaire? He did this before he was opposition leader. Now he's opposition leader, and you see what he did? You see what he did? He showed up half hour late. You had to issue a warrant for his arrest. Why? If it was the first offense, the lawyers could have made an excuse. And usually the lawyers show up with their clients. The amount of money that the Mohammeds are paying their lawyers, the amount of money they're paying their lawyers, all this shit poop that they're dishing out to you, Magistrate Judy, and it seemed like you're buying it. But in this case, his driver's tires were slashed. That's the excuse. Somebody took a knife and cut the tires to the vehicle the drivers had to use to come and pick up the Mohammeds. That is the fucking excuse. With all the money they're paying their lawyers, they shouldn't have to have a driver take them. The lawyers should be at their premise, their place of residence. If the court case is scheduled for 9 a.m., the fucking lawyers should be at the Mohammed's house at 8 a.m. with their vehicle. If there's 3 lawyers, all 3 should be there. One to transport the father, one to transport the son, and one to transport the assholes who will be accompanying them, like the pandit and the primus. Where was she today? Anyway. So this bullshit excuse about tires were slashed by the driver. On whose car? Mohammed's car? You mean the driver has a Lamborghini too? The driver has one of these expensive luxury vehicles as well? Whose vehicle's tires were slashed? Whose? So because the government said he can't drive his vehicle because of not being registered, did the government say that? So how does he go around to film people's houses? How does he go around to meet all these people that he claims that he's meeting? Berbice Esiquibo, who transports him? By a taxi? Public transportation? How does he get there? So he would have gone to places yesterday using other means of transportation, but he has a special vehicle to drive him to court, and that special vehicle, the tires were slashed. So he couldn't get to court, so they could arrest him, only to put him on bail. Do you hear how stupid I sound talking that? Yeah, that's how dumb I feel when I think about that. That's how they would have sold this to a learned magistrate. That's how dumb that's the thing. That is what the magistrate bought. She had to have bought it to release him, or the whole thing was planned to be exactly like that. It was a conspiracy for him to show up late, a conspiracy for a warrant to be issued, a conspiracy to lock him up, a conspiracy to put him out. The whole process to achieve what? Sentiments that you are politically persecuted by President Irfan Ali. That shit again. That nonsense again. Azruddin Mohammed, you defied the court. Everybody knew the date you had to go to court, but you. Everybody knew the time you had to show up there, but you. Even reporters were there before you to cover your case. The magistrate was in her bench before you to preside over your case. You're the only one who didn't show up. So when you decide to step out of your house after the time would have passed for you to be in the court physically, then you looked outside and the driver says, look, boss, the vehicle's tire slashed. And then is when you scrambled. Didn't the lawyer say, the lawyer for Azruddin Mohammed, wasn't it he the one who said that he don't think the magistrate would settle for a virtual hearing? He was the one who said that, right? So what's this nonsense about technical difficulties? They couldn't have a virtual hearing. What's this bullshit? You people are pussyfooting around with this whole thing. You are making an embarrassment of the judicial system. Anil Nandalal, Mr. Nandalal, Minister of Legal Affairs. What, man? What, man? Who is in charge here? You know what this is doing for Azruddin Mohammed? It is helping him politically. It is helping him because this kind of thuggery resonates with the ghetto and the young people. They like this. He's the gangster. He can treat the court however the fuck he wants. Walk in whenever he wants. He wants them to arrest him so he can show political prosecution, to play on that emotion. Therein getting more people on his side, even though a lot of people understand that he is doing this on purpose. How the heck can you have sympathy for Muhammad when he is the fucking one who showed up late? He didn't go, he didn't respect the court. He did it. Wait, President Ali took their phone and called Azruddin and said, hey, don't go. How the heck is this political prosecution? How? He is the one who did not show up. He disrespected the magistrate. He disrespected the judge, the court. Muhammad did. And look at his appearance when he shows up for a case of that magnitude. As if he's going to feed his dogs. As if he's going to feed his dogs. He showed up for court the same way he showed up to go to Tiger Bay and to listen to these people and their problems. The man has no regards for the environment to which he's going. None. Everybody else wears a suit, but he wears some fucking cheap shirt and a shoe and a slippers. Because he has no respect for none of you. If he knows in his mind that he is paying the magistrate, he don't give a fuck what you say. He don't care how much the magistrate dramatize about, oh, arrest warrant and oh, this. He don't care. He knows at the end of the day, she has to rule in his favor. He knows that. So either way, he's not worried. This is why he treats the situation like that. This is why he smiles, he laughs, because he understands, you don't know what I know. I run this shit. That's what he knows. That he runs the shit. Things don't run him, he runs things. That's what he's projecting. And this sentiment, the magistrate pushes out, I wrote it. She will temper justice with fucking mercy. Demand contempt of court. The fact that all of these propaganda and sentiments are expressed that you are compromised, Magistrate Judy. All of this thing, you have no regards for that. You're not concerned about your reputation. You're not concerned they might bring you before the bar to explain your judgments. You're not concerned they might investigate you. You're not concerned with none of that. You will temper justice with mercy. What the fuck is that? Why is Azruddin Mohammed special? Nobody else can pull that stunt. And for you from the ghettos, those of you who like to express your sentiments online, oh, political persecution, oh, it's the PPP, oh, it's President Ali. Think about your situation. Could you have done that? Many of you had cases before the court, and you would have probably genuinely was late or you couldn't show up. Genuinely, how did the court dealt with you as an average citizen? How? You couldn't pull that stunt, could you? So why is the law different when it comes to the Mohammeds and the rest of the population is served differently? Why? The only thing that makes sense, money talks, the court compromises. That's what makes sense. Because why always the magistrate has to rule in favor of the Mohammeds? Why? Soko just found them guilty. Illegal business. Just found them guilty. I'm still waiting to see what the charges are. Maybe that's under advisement from the DPP. Everything is under advisement. I ain't seen nothing yet coming out of that side. Oh, that is political prosecution too. Oh yeah, I forgot. The father, the lawyers lied about the father's situation. That did nothing. Now we have the tires being slashed. Couldn't they come with something more creative? They managed to prolong the case until the 19th. Every time, yeah, they managed to prolong it. I asked the question, what would have been the next move? I wasn't seeing this. Seriously, I couldn't, my mind could not have produced a thought along the possibility that they could have used tires being slashed as the excuse to prolong the case. I couldn't conceptualize that. I guess you have to be street smart for that kind of stuff. I couldn't. So now I'm thinking, what's for the 19th? What's the excuse then? What would be the excuse? The father health issue again? No, they wouldn't. I don't think they can come with that. Nah, they can't come with tires. They can't come with the father situation. What? Azruddin went somewhere in the interior and his boat broke down, and since he can't fly, they can't get him out in time for court. What is it? He had a fight with his wife. What, he overdosed on drugs? Sorry, medication, psychiatric medication. What? They refused to pump gas in his vehicle so he can't drive. No taxis would take his money. What will be the excuse? The lawyers quit, so he has to find new lawyers. That might work, because then they have to get new lawyers, and then they have to restudy the case. Then they need more time to prepare. Yeah, that might work. But what will be next? Because with this stunt for today, and the fact that despite the blatant disrespect for the magistrate, the court, and the Americans, you have the opportunity. Man, I tell you, this is why Azruddin is getting more support among young people. This is why he's getting more support. Because when he does these things, the ghetto loves it. They see it as justice for them. When he gets away with these things, they see it as, hey, he's representing us. Justice for them, because they're seeing themselves in his shoes having those kinds of favors. They love that. The guy is a celebrity. The more he's allegedly persecuted, the bigger he gets amongst the black people. No politician before has ever been in this position. He is enjoying it. I think he purposely wanted to be in handcuffs again. But he couldn't pull the stunt with Suku because, yeah, if they had found the money he put in the masjid, allegedly, so he played around with the court. Oh, let her wait. Yeah, but Azruddin, we have let her wait. No, he would have said it like this. Let her fucking wait. Because they know the lawyers would say, well, she will issue a warrant for you. Well, that's what he wanted. Yeah, let her go ahead. It's good ratings. He's going to trend more. Breaking news. Everybody will be talking about it. That's what he wanted. It's because people are going to look around waiting. Yes, yes. Now they got him. Now they got him. When he very well know that the magistrate can't lock him up. He knows she can't. No matter how much I call for it, it's just coming close to him getting arrested, and that's it. I caption a lot of my past programs. Arrest Azruddin, arrest him. I caption, you know that. He's arrested today. Was arrested today. Put in the lockups. But then was released. Why again? Let me see if I get it again. Yeah, what was it? She will temper justice with mercy. Temper justice with mercy. Why didn't they do that when the PNC fabricated 19 charges against our good president? Why didn't they temper justice with mercy in his case? He didn't get that kind of treatment because the court systems are controlled by the PNC. So anybody that comes from the PPP side, you're fucked. No favors. You see the man that they said that was wanted by Italy and was the extradition request was made. You see how they treated him? And they claimed that he was a PPP man or is a PPP man. So he was accused of being PPP, but look how they treated him. He was in jail for 2 months. And he had to pay 1 million, how much is it? 1 million or 2 million Guyana dollars bail? 2 million. So all the people who are associated with the People's Progressive Party Civic, they don't get any leniency. Imagine if they have accusation against me. Oh my gosh. Imagine. If I had to go before the Judge Judy, oh my gosh, the president himself might have to pick up the phone and say, "What the fuck you doing, man? Release that man. You give a criminal 150,000 bail for that amount of crime, and you're treating people you perceive as PPP's people with with this harsh punishment, because that's how members of the PPP or sympathizers of the PPP or supporters of the PPP, when they go before that judge, magistrate, or anyone, they don't get this level of favoritism. They're treated harshly by police, by the justice system, harshly. But anybody from the PNC, read the headlines. You see the lady, the two women in Berbice that were caught with that amount of drugs, marijuana, the two prison officers, what happened to them? They're out on bail. Out on bail. Imagine if those two were Indo-Guyanese women and the perception is that they support the PPP. You think they would have gotten bail? Of course not. So justice in Guyana favors the Negro and the PNC party. And that needs to change. Anil Nandalai, President Irfan Ali, it needs to change. Because it shows weakness on your government's part. This situation with Azruddin Mohammed demonstrates weakness on the part of the Ali regime. The man is blatantly disrespecting the courts in a matter that is so serious, that decides his future. No regards. You issued something as like a warrant. You have people who are running from the law when it comes to paying tickets. They may have tickets piled up. They're not showing up in courts to address their matter. And warrants are issued for those people for tickets, for unpaid traffic tickets. When they're caught, they don't get bail. They stay in prison until somebody comes and pay off the fee for them. That's tickets. Men go to prison for child support, not paying child support. Warrants are issued for them. They are arrested and lost away in prison for child support. And you have a man who not once, based on what was mentioned, did this to the court system and had a warrant issued so far. Not that this lawyer called him or asked for the court to be adjourned because he might be caught in traffic or whatever. It became so unbearable that the magistrate had to issue a warrant. What is this, Magistrate Judy? This is a joke? You went so far to issue a warrant for the arrest of Azruddin, the arrest, only to release him? Did you really want to see him that bad? That he's avoiding you, and for you to see him, you had to issue an arrest warrant just to see him? To discuss what? A date? Or why he didn't call? This is a joke. You're showing mercy? Then why do you have a court system? Why make a fool out of the police officers who went and arrested Azruddin Mohammed? Why make a fool out of them? You think the next time they'll go? Because they have to, they probably will. But this situation does not serve the Guyanese people. Don't show favoritism to this extent. First, you're giving bail to criminals. Now you have to issue an arrest warrant for a troublemaker. Azruddin Mohammed is a troublemaker. He has become a troublemaker. This is who the man really is. Hiding behind the suits and hiding behind the billions, that was just a sham, just to distract the Guyanese society from his true personality. This is the real man. What you're seeing now, him going around with drones and spying on people, abusing women, cussing people out, that's the man that you elected as opposition leader. And then the example he's going to set today is to show his supporters that they should have no regard for the court system. After all, as long as you have money, they will rule in your favor. So how are these people supposed to get money, Azruddin, like you? How? They need to continue to rob, kill, steal, smuggle drugs, smuggle gold, because you can't get your kind of money from a 9-to-5 job. Even if you're a minister, as you claim. The minister that you're accusing of buying a house for 150 million, I mean, if it is so, she had to take a loan for that. The banks are lending money up to 40 million, but I guess if you have people to put up their assets, the bank might lend you more money. But you are now accusing all these people of this less than $1 million American dollars once in a lifetime. Like I said before at the beginning, politics is a job, it's a career, it's a business. Nobody goes in there to lose. These aren't preachers and prophets. Politicians are business people. It's a career. It has to benefit you. But if you use your brain and use your talent and you earn gifts by virtue of doing your job as a politician, how is that illegal? It's not illegal. Everybody does it. In your case, Azruddin Mohammed, your wealth that you have secured was not via politics, was via corruption, smuggling, drugs, gold smuggling, money laundering. That is how you acquire your riches. So if these public servants who served their country and by virtue of taking up high office were compensated, meaning the government guarantees loans for them from banks and institutions, how is that illegal? You think if I become a minister, and I'm driving a Toyota, normally if I'm driving a Toyota Fitz, and I am sworn in as Minister of Home Affairs, why the fuck would I want to keep driving a Toyota Fitz? If I have to keep driving a Toyota Fitz as a Minister of Home Affairs, or I have to live in a rented house, I would quit. I'll tell Priya Manichan, you could keep the position. No. If you are going to take that responsibility to serve your country at that capacity, at that level, you must be compensated. Because the toll that is on your shoulders is heavy. It's a heavy responsibility. You have to put everything into it. What is a house? You want a minister to live like the fucking Tiger Bay residents? And they have to serve their country? You are picking on people that you know don't have the time with you. Why did you? I told you before, Azruddin, you're such a man of the people as you claim. Campbell got 200 million tax write-off. Mahi Paul with the university scandal. Norton, Granger, the payback that they got from the oil deal. You have so many things you could bring up about PNC, but you never touched them. because you are a coward. You are a coward. You are afraid of the black people. You are afraid of the Negroes. You wouldn't touch them. You're disrespectful to your own people. Just because they wouldn't turn a blind eye to your corruption, your lawlessness, you're picking on them. Go pick on some Negroes. Go pick on them. You have a lot of blacks in the PPP. You have the Prime Minister. You have Edgel. You have so many blacks in the PPP, so many. Pick on them. I dare you. I am telling you. Pick on them. You wouldn't. Look who you're picking on. An Amerindian woman. A female. You picked on Susan Rodriguez. You're done with her. You made her famous. You finished with her. You picked on Mustafa. You finished with him. Now you're picking an Amerindian minister. Who else is in it? Anand Nandalal. You're not going to done with Anand Nandalal because you're holding him responsible for the mess you're in. Oh, you used to be friends. No. You were a donor, like many other businesses who donate to political parties, many others. That's it. You don't get favors. You pay your taxes like everybody else, obey the law, you get favors. But if you're going to live like the way you're living, and again, like what you did today, disrespected the judicial system, the courts, and then was gotten favors, well, bad representation. Mr. Manzoor Nadir, sir. Mr. Nadir, sir. All of God is giving, God is delivering this man into your hands for you to get rid of him. Opposition leader arrested for defying the courts. Come on, what else do you need? That alone should get him expelled from the parliament. That alone. A warrant was issued for the opposition leader of Guyana. For what? Disrespecting the courts, the law. You in the parliament, you make the laws, and you have the courts to implement the laws. And this opposition leader broke the laws. And you're still going to entertain him in the parliament as opposition leader? Mr. Manzoor Nadir, you have the tools now to get rid of Azruddin. What else do you need? You're hoping that he would have been held in the lockups? You were hoping? Well, now you know the case is before the wrong magistrate. Remove her from the bench, put another magistrate there, and then maybe they would revoke, turn over all the bail, so he can go back, he can go in prison. But if you're going to keep the case before the magistrate Judy, without getting down to the bottom of why she keeps compromising, this case can very well prolong for 5 years, can very well if it stays before the magistrate Judy. Allegedly. Now, Magistrate Judy, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just thinking out loud like everybody else. Because people don't get this kinds of favor. He just happened to be the billionaire, and he's exempt. So basic question, why? Why? It's good to be Azruddin. Azruddin. It's good to be him. You get more famous, you are the gangster, you are the kingpin, you get away with lawlessness. You can do whatever you want, terrorize who you want, cuss out who you want, and blame it on the president, and then get the courts to side with you. So when the man says he's going to take out the PPP in 2031, maybe he will. Maybe he will. He's making that threat. You see, so far today, they could have kept him in prison, but they put him out on bail again. So with that, maybe he will unseat the PPP. Maybe. We got to start taking him serious. Because we saw today, nothing can hold him. Not even defying the courts, not even an arrest warrant, nothing can hold him. That's what he's teaching Guyanese citizens today. And we all saw it. You had your chance. Again, you had him in handcuffs. You put him in prison. You had a legitimate reason to cancel all the bail and keep him behind bars. You had all of that in your hands. The man delivered himself to you. And you blew it again. You fucking blew it. So he is the man. Muhammad, he is the man. Give him more power. Give him more power. Then the protest will start. And when he tell them niggas go burn stuff down, they will say, yes, Muhammad, so shall we. Give him more power. Because so far, he is the only one trending all over. People don't care about the facts anymore. They're not concerned that he disrespected the courts. They're going to say is President Ali sent people to arrest him. That's what the stupid public would say. That Ali did it. Therein giving more sympathy to the criminal. When I am minister, my building will not be 150 million. I'm telling you now, the people from WIN and PNC, my building, one of them, the cheapest would be $500 million. Yes, a 6-car garage, a 3-story on 10,000 acres with a winery, a ranch, and a big ass swimming pool with a basketball court. Yeah, make a note of it and get your drones ready, because when that time comes, you have a lot of filming to do. I'm telling you now what the value would be like. 150 million? Really? You're embarrassing a minister for that? What's the cost of Mahipal's house and Campbell's house? Campbell's vehicle, the Prado, how much is that? What's the cost of the Prado? 20 million? Imagine a vehicle is 20 million. Imagine that. Until next time. Share this live. Thanks for the likes and the comments. I appreciate that. I'll see you again on the next live. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.